The movie begins with Hero Boy, a young orphan, who has recently lost both of his parents in a tragic car accident. Heartbroken and devastated, he goes to live with his grandmother, a kind and loving woman who tries her best to comfort him. Despite her efforts, Hero Boy remains sad and withdrawn, mourning the loss of his family. In an attempt to lift his spirits, Hero Boy's grandmother gifts him a pet mouse, which he names Daisy. Hero Boy and Daisy quickly form a special bond, and he begins to feel a little better, spending his days caring for the mouse and teaching her tricks. But little does he know, strange and dark forces are watching him. One day, while Hero Boy is playing with Daisy, a mysterious and oddly dressed woman approaches him outside the house. She seems friendly at first, offering him candy, but Hero Boy is uncomfortable and senses that something is off. He runs back to his grandmother and tells her about the encounter. It is then that his grandmother reveals a frightening truth: witches are real. She tells Hero Boy that witches are not like ordinary women. They hate children and are extremely dangerous. In fact, witches have a terrifying ability to disguise themselves as normal people, but beneath their masks, they are hideous creatures with claws instead of hands and no toes on their feet. They can smell a child from miles away, and they despise the scent of children, which they describe as smelling like dog poo. To witches, children are pests that must be eliminated. Hero Boy is understandably shocked and scared by this revelation, but his grandmother's words prove true when she recounts a story from her own childhood. She tells him about her friend who mysteriously disappeared one day after encountering a strange woman. Days later, the girl reappeared, but she had been transformed into a chicken by a witch's curse. His grandmother has been wary of witches ever since, and she warns Hero Boy to be on guard. To ensure Hero Boy's safety, his grandmother decides to take him away to a luxurious hotel on the coast, hoping they can escape any witches that might be lurking near their home. However, unbeknownst to them, the witches are also planning something sinister at that very same hotel. The hotel is hosting the annual meeting of the witches, a secret convention where witches from all over the world gather to discuss their evil plans. Leading them is the fearsome Grand High Witch, a powerful and terrifying figure who harbors an intense hatred for children. During their gathering, the Grand High Witch unveils her latest plan to eliminate all children from the world. She has created a magical potion called Formula 86, which can turn children into mice. Her devious plan is to distribute the potion into candy stores and sweet shops, so children will unknowingly consume it and be transformed into mice forever. Hero Boy, while exploring the hotel with his mouse Daisy, accidentally stumbles into the witches' secret meeting. He hides behind a screen and watches in horror as the witches remove their disguises, revealing their grotesque true forms. The Grand High Witch demonstrates the potion by transforming a little boy, Bruno, who had been lured into the meeting with the promise of free chocolate. Right before Hero Boy's eyes, Bruno is turned into a mouse. Hero Boy tries to escape, but he is caught by the witches, who pour the potion on him as well, turning him into a mouse. Despite his new form, Hero Boy is still determined to stop the witch's evil plan. He teams up with Bruno, now a mouse, and they discover that Daisy, Hero Boy's pet mouse, is not just a regular mouse. She was once a little girl who had been turned into a mouse by the witches long ago. Hero Boy, Daisy, and Bruno quickly formulate a plan. They sneak into the Grand High Witch's hotel room, steal a bottle of the magic potion, and decide to use it against the witches. The three mice make their way into the hotel kitchen, where the witch's dinner is being prepared. They pour the entire bottle of the potion into the witch's soup. At dinner, the witches unknowingly consume the tainted soup, and one by one, they begin to transform into mice. Chaos ensues as the witches panic and try to flee, but the potion works fast, and soon the entire room is filled with squeaking mice. The Grand High Witch, however, has not yet eaten the soup. Hero Boy and his friends trick her into swallowing the potion, and she too is transformed into a mouse. With the witches defeated, Hero Boy and his grandmother return home, but Hero Boy is now permanently a mouse. However, he doesn't let this change his spirits. His grandmother assures him that he can still live a fulfilling and happy life, even as a mouse. They form a plan to track down other witches around the world and stop them from harming more children. Hero Boy embraces his new identity, realizing that he can still make a difference, even as a small mouse. Together, he and his grandmother set out on a new adventure to rid the world of witches once and for all. The movie ends with Hero Boy, Bruno, and Daisy living happily with the grandmother, planning their next steps in their mission to stop witches everywhere.